thousands of people are underground mining during the pandemic. Huge issues, of course, with the spread of the virus in mines and the situation around the economics of mining. Peter Major is a mining analyst. He joins us now. Peter, good afternoon to you. At the moment, are our mines actually producing? Are they producing at anything like the levels they did, say, this time last year?
No, they're definitely not. And hey, Major probably knows the least of any analyst you're going to get right now. I think Roger Baxter and the Chamber of Mines executive are really on top of this thing, so they can give you a much better view than me. But in my discussions with some of the executives and the other analysts, it looks like I think we're close to 80%. If you average all the different mines we've got, I think we're 80% plus, which is pretty good, Stephen. And I'm including all the underground mines and all the open pit mines.
I mean, that means that mining's ramped up really quite quickly. I mean, obviously the coal mines, for example, they could keep going. They're an essential service to keep Eskom going. I don't know if that really helped or not, but that's not their fault. So the question means that do they have a little bit of a head start on the rest of the economy?
Yeah, they really did, Steve, because they didn't shut down immediately like most of us did during the lockdown. Remember, we had about 24 hours to prepare, and the majority of us, I think, did have to just shut down. The mines, as far as putting men underground and on top, I think they got about a week to do it. And then they had to keep maintenance crews, and they were allowed to do processing. So sort of before we knew it, the 3 weeks was up, and they were already applying, can they go back to work? And the government realized the urgency of it, how much they need the foreign exchange, how much they need to keep people employed and this government generating money. So they never really completely shut down. So they were able to ramp up quite quickly as soon as they could show a plan. And hey, it's trial and error. You know, all the mines have picked up people with the virus, but how they deal with it, they're pretty quick. They're pretty efficient. You know, you screen right at the start. If they've got the temperature, if they got any symptoms, they're out. And you can keep doing it. And the mines are used to operating with 20% no-shows, which sounds insane, but they've been operating like that for 15, 20 years. Now, they're not even that low with the virus because everybody wants to work.
I suppose everybody needs income at the moment, don't they? Government is helping some industries at the moment. Is government going to have to help mining as well? I mean, what kind of help would the industry need?
Stephen, myself and everybody I know in mining says we don't need the government to lift a hand. We don't need them to ever give us any money. We would love it, and we can show them 100 ways that they would get 5 and 10 times bang for buck. If they could just reduce the massive amount of legislation that they've brought in. And I know it sounds corny to say Moses was confused. He had too many tribes with too many rules. And God said, let me give you 10 commandments. Everybody runs on these 10. We'll get by for quite a while. We could really apply that here. You know, we didn't need 3,000 new regulations, 2,000 policy changes. You know, just reduce the plethora of needless regulation and policies.
Just so that you're not misquoted, Peter, and I mean, this is an environment in which people's words can be used against them. When you talk about regulation, are you talking about safety regulation or are you talking about other regulations?
All regulations. Everybody, our mines were world-class mines as often as they're not. Sometimes we even beat the best mines in the West on underground. And our underground is usually twice as deep and has multiples as many men. And if you see how we've reduced it, all countries have reduced the accident rate over the last 100 years. But when you're getting down to single digits, if you're going to close a mine trying to lower an accident rate from 5 people to 4 people, you have to say, geez, we're going to close a mine for that, and we might save 1 or 2 more lives, but we're going to kill, what, 100? You know, since we started transporting coal, we kill more people every month on the roads with these coal hauliers that we never used to have than the gold mines kill in a whole year. So, no, it's not regulations on safety. It's regulations that don't make sense.
All right, Peter, I mean, you're going to start an argument when you say that. I do need to ask about the demand for what we produce. Now, obviously, you know, gold is a safe haven. It seems to have been doing quite well. The other thing that we do, and I'm not the expert you are, but the other thing that we produce is platinum. Where's the demand at the moment on international markets for what we actually get out of our ground?
It's pretty amazing, Steve. I never would have forecast this, that virtually every metal we produce is fairly higher now or much higher now than it was at the start of the year. I think only coal that I know of is at a lower price. And coal was too high anyways. It came down with oil, and it's bouncing back up with oil. But if I look at iron ore, $107, nobody would have ever thought we're going to see $100 again. So China is taking that iron ore, and there has been reduction in production of a lot of these minerals in the rest of the world. And hey, platinum, platinum market, palladium was very tight, rhodium was tight. So if I say we're only at 80, 90% production, geez, that 10% is gone. So yes, there's some reduced demand, but there's been more than enough reduced overall production to balance that out. So all these metals are doing very well.
I mean, when you and I spoke right at the beginning of the lockdown, and obviously other countries, some of our big trading partners were slightly ahead of us in terms of the curve. Unfortunately, we've caught up with them now. But, I mean, you were worried that we hadn't actually produced platinum for quite some time. We were just sitting from stockpiles, and the price hadn't gone up at all. So you're saying that's been a bit of a change since then?
Yeah. Look, palladium did come back, from $2,900 an ounce. It fell all the way to about 15, but it's back here at $1,900 to $2,000 an ounce. Rhodium, it's come back from $12,000 an ounce, but it's firm at $8,500. And yeah, platinum is trading around $810, $820. That's what it's been trading most of the year on average. So they've held really well. They haven't gone up like gold. I don't think anything's gone up like gold, but the base metals have bounced back up stronger than at the start. Manganese has bounced up. Chrome, and as I said, iron ore through the ceiling. It's just unbelievable. $107 a ton for fines on iron ore.